How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Swiss Bank posts finance to roll out Bitcoin Ethereum services for clients. Post Finance, the financial services firm fully owned by the Swiss government, will offer its customers a range of regulated crypto services delivered through Sygnum's B2B banking platform. Thanks to the partnership with digital assets bank Sygnum, its customers now will be able to buy, store, and sell cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's also more, so stay till the end of the video to find out what the more is. Post Finance is Switzerland's fifth largest financial institution firm, boasting more than 2.5 million customers. So that's very big because that's 2.5 million potential people that could enter crypto. Now, not all of them are going to, but should even 1% of them, that'd be a very good amount of people coming into crypto, just from one country. This partnership illustrates how digital assets are now an integral part of the financial landscape in Switzerland. Switzerland, as an investment ecosystem, offers a number of strategic advantages, including regulatory clarity for cryptocurrencies and off-balance sheet segregation of crypto assets, which eliminates credit risks. So you won't see people going after you for holding crypto in Switzerland, and they have regulation. Sounds like it's time to move. So, a little bit more. Sygnum offers staking, which includes Ethereum, Cardano, ICP, and Tezos. So if you are going in Switzerland and you plan on going through this, you might want to be looking at one of them because you can make APY on your coins. Not financial advice. Our continually expanding B2B offering, which currently includes 25 lending cryptocurrencies, including DeFi-focused, 60-plus trading pairs, and 4 leading fiat currencies, is available for deployment by Post Finance on a flexible basis. So, they're getting probably some rules in there on who can be approved, but it sounds like they're going to roll it out eventually to everyone. Forgot to go to the top of this article, so this article is a little all over. Future Paxful Bitcoin exchange in flux as co-founders fight. Tensions between Paxful co-founders spilled into public yesterday as peer-to-peer Bitcoin exchange abruptly announced it had suspended operations. While Shabak hopes to resume operations, Youssef has apparently recommended a new partner to Paxful users. Youssef said that I would be weary of that recommendation, by the way, and we will get into why. Youssef said that a lawsuit filed against Paxos and himself by Shabak was an unintelligible factor weighing on the firm, claiming that it prompted important team members to quit. I couldn't do it anymore. Ethically, I took some massive legal liability and said, I'm shutting down, Youssef said. He had a court order preventing me from doing anything, but I said F that. So, apparently he just had enough of Shabak. Shabak told Decrypt that Paxful's decision to suspend operations came as a shock, and while he concerned that this could end up ruining the exchange, he said he does want to make it whole again and make it up and running again. Shabak claimed that Paxful's announcement yesterday was part of an orchestrated effort to move the company's business outside of U.S. jurisdiction, while blaming him for the company's troubles, which Youssef denied. Shabak said the root cause of this agreement can be traced back to 2021. He decided to not buy my shares or find investors because he found a way to completely take control of the company, Shabak said. So basically what happened is the Paxful Youssef had an agreement to buy Shabak shares and take control of the company, it sounds like from that. But instead of buying the shares, he found a circle roundabout way of just making Shabak have no power. When Youssef directed people to explore other trading venues on Paxful's website yesterday, he suggested users choose another firm called Noons. Youssef said he doesn't have a direct role at Noons, but supports the company, yet Shabak pointed out that Noons and Paxful share notable similarities, including what appears to be a database of users and apparently login information. Don't know where my highlights went for this part, but right here, Paxful was being asked by people, hey, why can I not use my Paxful logins to get into Noons? And Paxful said, hey, Noons is not affiliated with us, you should talk to them. But another user was trying to enter their information, and Noons said, hey, just look at the information that we provided for your cross-check. This information provided was likely provided through the Telegram, which the Telegram channel what appeared to be their official Telegram channel. There were people saying, hey, we can't help, and they were able to help some people, and other people were asking for help on how to accomplish this. So behind the scenes, there were people trying to log in and able to log in with their Paxful logins to this new exchange. So that sounds like a lawsuit ready to happen, and I would not trust Nunes. Is Texas still very open for business for Bitcoin mining? Up until quite recently, Texas was very open for business, as it were, for Bitcoin mining. But with this new bill, they don't seem to be. So I think it is just really a nice fit between the needs of the state and what a Bitcoin miner can uniquely provide as an industrial scale battery. What they're talking about here is the ability for Bitcoin to be able to switch off when it needs. The article kind of goes all over on the points, but what it's talking about in this point is Bitcoin can be shut off when you need if there's a surge on the grid, but a normal database can't. I think it kind of says that down here. The symbiotic relationship has worked because unlike data centers whose always-on client agreements makes voluntarily shutting down impossible, Bitcoin miners can cut their power consumption when there's a lot of demand for the grid. But a bill introduced in March, Texas Senate Bill 1751, seeks to limit those benefits granted to Bitcoin miners that cut their power consumption when in Texas. On Tuesday, the bill was unanimously approved in a vote in the Senate committee. It still needs to be approved to win the full Senate before it heads to the House of Representatives and then Greg Abbott's desk, but Texas Blockchain Council President Lee Baxter says the bill has cause for concern. And I agree, because if we take out these incentives for people to mine in Texas, they're likely to go elsewhere, possibly to other countries. SB 1751 is a concentrated effort by established industry groups in the ERCOT marketplace to tilt the playing field in their favor because they cannot compete with Bitcoin miners when it comes to load flexibility, Baxter said. The Satoshi Act Fund CEO and co-founder Dennis Porter said he and Pierre Richard, Riot Platform's Vice President of Research, spent 8 hours at Texas Capitol on Tuesday to share their opposition on the anti-Bitcoin mining bill in the Senate. So I give them props because that's a lot of time to spend on that. So hopefully their efforts will prevail, as without these credits then there's not much incentive to mine in Texas, and Texas is the most incentivized spot in the US, and we don't want to become second to everyone else. So over on the chart, we tried to break right about here to most of our breakout point that I warned about from yesterday. I don't know what we just deleted. Won't let me delete my line I want. But you can see we kind of peaked up and we've been falling. So we're going to start on the daily like always. On the daily, we're still in this range. I got rid of that one volume profile because it was a little wonky. I got brought back here so we have better volume profiles to base off. We did hit the high value area and got rejected nonetheless. So that's the important thing, and we also got rejected by the point of control for a third day in a row. So 3 rejections in a row, likely we're going to fall, as this is more of a long upper shadow candle, as it's way more significant than our body. Might be more of a doji candle, depending on how it kind of plays out. If it's more flat like it is right now, it's more of a doji, but it is long upper shadow, as the long upper shadow is the longest part, and it's bigger than the body. Momentum's heading down, RSI's gone kind of flat, momentum's trying to get a green dot, stochastic's trying to get a cross up, our money flow overall is trying to come up, our VWAP is trying to come up bullish, So overall, we're trying to get some bullish push signals, but this doji candle represents that buyers tried to push us way up to the top of our point of control and push us down. If you haven't watched my point of control video, where I mentioned that this area is very easy to break through, you can see why I'm stressing that it's likely we're going to get rejected, especially with that CME gap. So over on the 4 hour, you can see we kind of went up, went flat, then went down. Didn't really spend much time above, but just long enough to make people think we could have broke out. So we are kind of rejecting away from the point control currently as we tried to come up, didn't quite get there, and we're falling down. Stochastic's falling, RSI is falling, momentum is falling, money flow is getting close to testing bearish, and our VWAP is kind of trying to head up after falling bearish. So the VWAP signals that we could try to push up in the medium term, but with everything else falling, we could see that VWAP kind of curl off. Over on the 3 hour, oh, why are we on the 3 hour? Normally we do the 2. 3 hour looked worse than the 2 hour. 3 hour was well into the bearish zone for the money flow, but the 2 hour, our money flow is pretty flat, pretty dead over the last several candles ever since we went up. Stochastic's trying to head up. VWAP is kind of flat under that neutral zone, tried to come up but didn't manage to break bullish. Our momentum wave is just peaking here, so it could try to curl on us. RSI is going down, so we got a little bit of mixed signals, but overall I'd say we did reject away. So if this money flow doesn't come up with the momentum, then it's likely we're going to reject from here. Over on the 1 hour, money flow is trying to hang in there. We're going to have to watch this closely and see what happens, but if we kind of do what we did back here, we could be set up for a pretty decent drop. Our stochastic looks like we could roll over, RSI has gone flat, VWAP's starting to head down, so our medium term on the 1 hour looks like it could come down. Momentum looks like it's starting to curl out here, so I'd be a little cautionary. If we don't get like a decent push up in the next couple candles and we get more red candles closing, then I'd be worried. Over on graph, we're not going to cover the futures until we end up having something exciting. Over on graph, we managed to break both resistances. We got a green dot that tried to signal that we have more bullish run up. That isn't a confirmed green dot, but it could confirm today, so that could still very well be in play. The last time we got that, we got a little bit more move up, and then we came back down. So it doesn't always mean you're going to go to the moon, but that is a pretty good sign. Stochastic's heading up, RSI is heading up, VWAP's heading up very strongly. Money flow shockingly is coming out. Momentum has a green dot, but looks like it was rounding out. So we are very mixed. Even though we pumped up, I'm not really caring too much for the setup. This is a long upper shadow candle again. So like we said on Bitcoin, that tends to be a bearish pattern. You can see this long upper shadow candle brought us down. One here brought us down. Sometimes you get where you get a long upper shadow candle like this one and you'll go up, but ultimately you can come down. So over on the 4 hour, we are testing support right now. So that is a very important test. If we break this test, then you may want to take some profits if you already haven't, as it's likely we could come back and retest this triangle, at which point we may try to fall back into. Our money flow is coming down on 4 hour, so it's getting close to testing bearish. VWAP overall is coming down, stochastic's heading down pretty sharply, momentum's coming down, and our RSI is coming down. So we did get this kind of top pattern, and now we're kind of flattening out. If we flag out from here, that'd create a bear flag, and that bear flag could take us slightly down, which would probably be about the retest of this pattern. Over on the 2 hour, our RSI is heading down, stochastic's heading down, but starting to curl. So we could get a bullish cross here. Money flow's trying to head up. Our VWAP's trying to head up. So we are getting some signals that we may bottom out and head up from here. So I watch the next few candles to see if that happens. Over on the 1 hour, our RSI is heading down. Stochastic's heading up. Our money flow tried to break bearish, managed to bounce, but it's heading back down again, so I'd use caution. Our VWAP isn't really anywhere to be found, so it's pretty dead on that neutral zone. Momentum's kind of flat. We got a green dot, but didn't really round up. Our RSI is pointing down, stochastic's starting to curl, so it could come down. Ooh, and now we're starting to get a red dot, so if we confirm this red dot, and this RSI and stochastic now looks even more sharply down. So if we confirm that, it could get even uglier for us. Over on Anchor, we did reject our high value area, but that's not the end of the world, as we did break our resistance that we had. Stochastic is trying to get a bullish cross, RSI is trying to head up, VWAP's heading up, momentum's trying to head up with a green dot that could confirm, and our money flow is somewhat inching out, so that's a little cautionary. We're pumping up with low volume. Usually those set you up for a quick drop down. Over on the 4 hour, Stochastic's starting to kind of curl, RSI is trying to curl up. Our momentum was getting a bit of a curl and is trying to get a green dot to try and head back up. Money flow tried to break bearish, but is heading up currently. Our VWAP broke bearish and is trying to retest the neutral zone. So the 4 hours looking kind of hopeful for a bit of a bounce here. Over on the 2 hour, RSI is heading up pretty decently. Stochastic's starting to make a recovery. Our momentum's starting to bend with the green dot and trying to make a recovery as well. And our VWAP is heading up in the bullish zone. So overall we have some good signals here, but our money flow is well into the bearish zone and somewhat starting to curl away from the neutral zone after trying to come up for a retest. So I'd be a little cautionary there. Over on the 1 hour, we are getting real close to a retest of getting some green momentum. So that could be positive if we get a good strong cross. Stochastic's heading up real strong, RSI's heading up strongly, VWAP's heading up pretty strongly, and our momentum's going up pretty nicely as well. So overall, the 1 hour is looking pretty decent for a bit of a bounce here, but we'll have to see how the next few candles confirm. Over on XRP, we're kind of rounding out here. Starting to make a little bit of a bounce. RSI is kind of flattening out. Stochastic's starting to try and curl. Money flow's still flat. VWAP's trying to come up, but our momentum is still coming down. But it's somewhat starting to bend here. So we could get somewhat of a curl here on the daily and maybe some bullish signals soon. Over on the 4 hour, our Stochastic's heading down, RSI is heading down. Money flow overall is heading down. Our VWAP is kind of flat under that bearish zone, and our momentum has a red dot just above the neutral zone. So we could get rejected from here pretty badly. Over on the 2 hours, Stochastic's falling, RSI is starting to curl away, money flow's coming out, VWAP is kind of flat and curling away from the neutral zone, so we're not looking very hopeful for a bounce on the 2 hour right now. If we look over here at the 1 hour, might be able to carve out an ascending triangle here. Our RSI is starting to bend down though, Stochastic's trying to head up. VWAP's zigzagging on that neutral zone, trying to push away, but is heading down right now. Our money flow is coming down. It tried breaking bullish a few times and got rejected several times. Momentum was coming up, but it's somewhat starting to curl. If you look right here, somewhat starting to curl right there. So we're looking pretty bad, like we could get a rejection here if we don't get some momentum to jump in. Over on algo for the daily, we are making a bit of a bounce, but probably gonna have some of the same signals we saw. Money flow overall is aggressively coming out. Momentum's trying to get a green dot. VWAP's trying to recover. Stochastic's trying to recover, and our RSI is somewhat heading up. So we're looking somewhat hopeful. Money flow is somewhat curling up on the end here. So if that can confirm like that, maybe we'll get some more push up in the next few days. But if Bitcoin starts to fall, then we probably won't see that. Over on the 4 hour, our momentum wave's starting to kind of curl, so we could get a green dot sometime soon. Money flow is somewhat starting to bend up, but overall is heading down, so I'd exercise caution. VWAP is trying to head up, Stochastic's starting to curl, RSI is trying to head up. So we're looking okay for the possibility of a bounce here. We'll need a few things to confirm. Over on the 2 hour, we have a green dot on our momentum just above that neutral zone. VWAP's heading up, just broke the bullish zone, sorry. Stochastic's heading up pretty decently, and our RSI is starting to make a bit of a recovery. So we're looking okay on the 2 hour for a bounce. We'll need this to continue and carry over. Over on the 1 hour, our momentum's somewhat starting to bend here, so that's a little worrisome. VWAP looks like it could start to bend here. Our Stochastic's heading up very strongly. RSI is heading up pretty strongly. So we look alright. We have that green dot that suggests we could get a bullish run up, and we've got our second green candle here. So we could see a little bit more run up, but sometimes on the 1 hour, those are like more of a top signal and you fall over. So I'd be a little cautionary. But overall, money flow is in the bullish zone on the 1 hour, 2 hour, not on the 4 hour. But the daily is still holding bearish and falling for some reason. So we'll need that to kind of carry over. Usually when it's on the 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour, usually it tends to carry on to the daily pretty soon, but that's going to be dependent on Bitcoin. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night.